This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV. 5 topics in about 10 minutes for Wednesday, January 3rd, 2023. I'm Derek Gilbert. Topic number 5 today, Japan. Dawn Tuesday brought scenes of devastation along the western coast of the island nation following a magnitude 7.5 earthquake Monday night. Dozens of people dead, multiple aftershocks. The quake shook the Noto Peninsula. This is in the central prefecture of Ishikawa Monday afternoon. Buildings collapsed, fires started, tsunami alerts were triggered as far away as eastern Russia. At least 57 people killed, reportedly so far. That number liable to grow as search and rescue teams continue to work to locate people still missing. The central city of Wajima, which is home to more than 27,000 people, appeared to be among the worst hit. This city is famous for its morning market, its fine traditional lacquerware, very popular with tourists, but early surveys from the air on Tuesday showed smoldering fires, destroyed buildings, smoke engulfing streets. Although this is bad, and we pray for the people of Japan and for the first responders who are working there, some of whom were killed, by the way. Japanese Coast Guard plane struck by a passenger jet at an airport in Tokyo, leaving 5 dead there. This destruction Monday afternoon, nowhere near what happened back in 2011. You remember the 9.0 earthquake that triggered tsunamis and led to the nuclear meltdown at the Fukushima Daiichi power plant. That's a disaster that's still affecting the world to this day. Topic number 4, Hamas. Saleh el-Aruri, the deputy chairman of Hamas's political bureau, was killed in an explosion in southern Beirut Tuesday evening. This is according to Hezbollah media, Arabic language sources. Al-Aruri was considered the number 2 man in the organization under Ismail Haniyeh. He was responsible for terror activity in Judea and Samaria, was what the world calls the West Bank, reportedly close to Hezbollah leader Nassan Nasrallah. According to one report, Al-Aruri was killed in a strike on an apartment building by an Israeli drone. Now, the IDF not officially commenting on this, but they might have targeted this man earlier. From what we're hearing from friends on the ground in Israel, that they were holding off on targeting this particular gentleman because he was responsible for some of the negotiations taking place over the hostages, and they wanted to let that play out before doing anything that might jeopardize. This rather signals that Israel does not believe it's going to get hostages back. 2 other people, by the way, killed in this blast, which occurred while Aruri was reportedly meeting with other terrorist operatives from Hamas and Hezbollah. According to the reports, one of the operatives killed in the strike along with Aruri was Khalil al-Hayya, a senior member of Hamas's political wing. Again, just to give you an idea of how significant this is, according to friends in Israel, al-Aruri was considered to be one of the 4 most powerful men inside Hamas and really the head of all of the military activity Hamas directed in Judea and Samaria, again, the area of Israel that the world calls the West Bank. Now the question is, how will Hamas respond? Topic number 3, Ukraine. Ukrainian capital of Kyiv pounded by Russian missiles on Tuesday morning, both ballistic and hypersonic missiles. This was a massive series of strikes which targeted other cities in Ukraine. The death toll reportedly at least 5 people, some 130 others injured. The day before, Russia's President Vladimir Putin had vowed to intensify strikes against Ukraine. This in retaliation for a strike by Ukraine on the Russian city of Belgorod, which killed 24 Russians, including some children. Now, the New York Times wrote that, quote, the barrage, which the Ukrainian Air Force said involved about 100 missiles, was the latest in an escalating cycle of air assaults between the 2 countries as both sides look for ways to inflict damage away from the largely deadlocked front line, end quote. The key phrase there, largely deadlocked front line. This is a major admission by the New York Times, which has been very pro-Ukraine since the war broke out last February, almost 2 years ago now, essentially signaling that Western elites have realized that Ukraine is not going to recover its territory. Russia may decide to push farther west, or it may just be content to hold the 4 provinces that it's essentially annexed now in eastern and southern Ukraine. It has created the land bridge that it wanted between Russia proper and the Crimean Peninsula. Now, while Ukraine is in possession of advanced Western weaponry, including some medium to long-range missiles, It is very short on ammunition for its frontline troops and very, very short on manpower. The situation in Ukraine likely to be resolved in 2024 and not the way Ukrainians want. Topic number 2, Harvard. Well, Harvard's president, Dr. Claudine Gay, resigned Tuesday following months of controversy surrounding anti-Semitism on campus and a scandal involving plagiarism. This reported by the Harvard Crimson, later confirmed as Dr. Gay released her letter of resignation. She wrote in her statement, quote, "It is with a heavy heart but deep love for Harvard that I write to share that I will be stepping down as president," end quote. Now, rather than taking responsibility for facilitating anti-Semitism on campus, her rather weak response at a congressional hearing when she said that anti-Semitic threats on campus had to be contextualized to determine whether they were really in violation of Harvard's policies against anti-Semitism and bullying. And of course, she didn't even really address the fact that she essentially plagiarized her way to the top job at America's foremost academic institution. She's been accused of, and it's fairly well documented now, multiple cases. I mean, we're talking dozens of cases of blocks of text essentially lifted from the work of other academics, inserted into her own published papers without attribution. That's not mentioned in her letter of resignation at all. In other words, she didn't say, "I'm sorry, I was wrong," and step down. No, she blamed the attacks against her on racial animus. Racial animus. It's not animus based on her race, it's animus based on the fact that she cheated. But her defenders, which go all the way to not just other academics who have circled the wagons around Dr. Gay in recent weeks, but the corporate media, Associated Press, actually publishing a headline saying that conservatives' new weapon against academia, plagiarism. As though conservatives somehow compelled Dr. Gay to plagiarize work in order to publish, or that the way the headline reads, might read it as conservatives are plagiarizing things to attack higher academic institutions, which is not the case. Look, a lot of people noted the hypocrisy in the president of America's most prestigious academic institution cheating her way to the top. That's what it comes down to. Now, of course, it didn't help that she also had really waffled on her response in front of Congress. But the bottom line here is this. This is not the victory that conservatives are making this out to be. There are some who are taking a victory lap here. Journalist Christopher Rufo deserves credit for bringing this story to light and resulting in Dr. Gay stepping down as president of Harvard. But a couple of things here. First of all, Dr. Gay remains on faculty at Harvard. She is still drawing a $900,000 a year salary and teaching classes at Harvard. Secondly, this is not a retreat. You see, leftists like, Bolsheviks and the Red Guard, they don't retreat except tactically. She was no longer useful to propagating the message, and so she stepped down. But the diversity industrial complex that she imposed during her 6-month tenure at Harvard, the shortest in the history of the college, by the way, remains. Students attending Harvard will still be indoctrinated into the idea that there are two classes, the oppressors and the oppressed, and you can tell who's who by the color of their skin. So nothing has really changed at Harvard, just the name sitting on the nameplate outside the president's office. Coming up, science proves that boys will be boys. Yes, it took peer-reviewed science to find this out. I'll explain next on 5 and 10.
We want to make sure that you're aware of the largest giveaway of the year in the We Are Legion Grand Collection. When you order the We Are Legion Grand Collection from SkywatchTVStore.com, you'll receive We Are Legion for We Are Many, Dominions, Cosmo Craters, and Washington, D.C. Unmasking the Ancient Riddle of the Hebrew Year 5785 and the Eminent Destiny of America by best-selling author Dr. Thomas Horn. Divided We Stand, the globalist scheme for a one-world government by Lieutenant Colonel Robert McGinnis, and The Prince of the Power of the Air and the Last Days, Satanology, History, Prophecy, and Technology by Jeffrey W. Martis. But we're just getting started. This must-have collection also includes the breathtaking 2-hour documentary, The Secret Destiny of America, on DVD, featuring Dr. Thomas Horn as he reveals who the God on America's Great Seal and U.S. $1 bill really is, why 72 pentagrams in the Capitol Dome are used to control the ancient cosmocrators who rule the nations, the coming incarnation of Antichrist, and much, much more. But that's not all. With the holidays just around the corner, now's your chance to save big and receive solid bonus merchandise absolutely free. Because also included in the We Are Legion Grand Collection are any number of brand new, super quality, overstock gift books, DVDs, or audio sets to add to your library or to give away as gifts this coming holiday season. Sold separately, these items hold a retail value of nearly $150. Yours now for your donation of only $35 plus shipping and handling, so act quickly. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. This is the largest giveaway of the year, just in time for the holiday gift-giving season, and is available only while supplies last, so don't delay. Visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the We Are Legion Grand Collection now.
Item number 1 today, boys will be boys and not girls, and apparently has taken peer-reviewed academic journals to make it official now. In an earth-shattering, mind-blowing, narrative-destroying new study from PhDs at King's College in London, researchers found, and I quote, a sex gap in race times between athletes who identify as non-binary. And there is no difference that the gap between biological males and biological females is less for athletes who identify as non-binary, end quote. In other words, boys, men, have physical advantages over girls and women. And this took an academic study by PhDs published in a peer-reviewed journal to make it official. In other words, according to the researchers, saying you're a girl does not change the fact that you are biologically a boy. And now we can say unequivocally and without fear of contradiction, that is science. Of course, if you read the book of the Genesis, you would know, created he them male and female, but I digress. This week on Skywatch TV, we continue our discussion of Tom Horn's life and legacy, the Horn family gathering together on this week's program. Don't miss it. It is a fitting tribute to a great man, one who's influenced the lives of many people, one who literally changed the course of the lives of Sharon and me. Our broadcast schedule, if you watch over the air, is at skywatchtv.com/channels. That's where you'll find all of the stations and networks and broadcast times. You can also watch it right now at Apple TV or Roku if you've got the Skywatch TV channel for your set-top box. You can catch it at the new YouTube channel for the main program at Skywatch TV Now. Rumble.com/Skywatch TV. All of our video content is always there, but better yet, bypass the gatekeepers of big tech and download our free mobile app to your smartphone or tablet. Not only does this get you our video content, which you can cast to your TV using Apple's AirPlay or Google's Chromecast, but it's got a Bible with multiple translations, news updates several times a week, a calendar of upcoming events, and more, all in the palm of your hand, whether you're carrying an iOS, Android, or Amazon Kindle Fire phone or tablet. Again, it is free, and we've got links to the app stores to make it easy for you to find the right app for your device at skywatchtv.com. You'll find the link in the top menu bar at the website. Thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.